Hey everybody, it's BB Magic here today for another wargaming session with Stirfry05. Say hello.
Hello.
Today we're going to play Memoir 44 by Days of Wonder. Now I am making an effort to teach Stirfry05 how to play wargames. This is his second wargame. The first was Strike Force 1 by Victory Point Games, which he did very well at. In fact, he beat me twice, both in the basic and the advanced game. Today we're going to do Memoir 44. Now I taught him this game just a few minutes ago and we played through the first scenario called Pegasus Bridge, and we're going to play through it again, only this time we've switched sides. So just to explain really quickly how this works, this is based on command cards. You have a deck of cards. Some cards allow certain units in a certain part of the board to move. Some cards allow multiple units in multiple parts of the board to move, etc. Basically, you play a card, and then you are able to move those units. Now, it's an I go, you go game. So I will play a card, I'll order those units, I'll do my turn, and then Stirfry will take his turn. He will draw a card, or he will play a card, use only those units in that area, or whatever the card says, and he will do his combat, and so on and so forth. This scenario only uses infantry. The infantry has 4 little figures per hex. I guess that simulates a squad, let's say, of men. And when you order a unit, it's considered to be the squad, all 4 men. So all 4 will move together, fire together, so on and so forth. Movement is fairly easy for this game. Infantry can move either 1 hex and do battle, or 2 hexes and not do battle. Now there is an exception. If it's an elite unit, they can move 2 hexes and still battle, but we're not playing the elite unit game. This scenario also does not have armor or artillery, which would have their own rules as far as movement goes. Combat, these guys can fire up to 3 hexes, and the first hex, say it's these Panzer Grenadiers right here. The first hex they would fire, they would roll 3 dice. The second hex they would roll 2 dice, and the third hex they would roll 1 dice, as though it's short, medium, long range. The dice have different symbols on them. There are flags that cause retreats. There are pictures of an infantryman, which would cause a casualty. There's a grenade, which would also cause a casualty. There's a tank, which would only damage armor. The grenade would of course damage infantry or armor, or artillery for that matter. There's also a star, which in this scenario does nothing. So you would roll the dice, and then you would cause the effects to take place, whether you're removing figures or causing them to retreat and so on. Once all 4 figures from a squad are removed, that squad is considered gone, and that would count as a victory point for whomever removed that squad. You can also, if it's close combat, if you're adjacent to that unit and you cause them to retreat, you can advance after combat if you're infantry. If you're armor, you can advance after combat and attack again, which is very nice. Now this board is really light on terrain. So you can see there's 2 rivers and a pond. There's 2 bridges. This is Pegasus Bridge. There's another bridge over here. The job of the allied player, which is Stirfry, is to take both of these bridges. He needs 4 victory points to secure the win. As the Axis player, I need 6, and the only way I'm going to get victory points is by mowing down his infantrymen. I guess they were on gliders. They flew in on the midnight before D-Day and secured these bridges and cut off communications. So he needs to get 4, and he can get 2 easily by taking the bridges, and then he has to wipe out 2 of my squads. I need to wipe out 6 of his squads. To take a bridge, he just has to have units on there. If he leaves the bridge, and I go on there, he loses that medal, that victory point. He'll get it back if he retakes the bridge. So he wants to take the bridge and hold them. To my advantage, I have barbed wire. I've got 4 hexes of barbed wire. If he moves into the barbed wire, he has to stop. It causes a penalty to his dice rolls, a -1 penalty, or -1 dice to his dice rolls. He can, instead of attacking, he can cut the wire and remove the wire from the hex, which can be advantageous. I also have sandbags, and the sandbags only cover 2 of the 6 hex sides, but in effect it actually covers all 6, so they get the advantage if they're in the hex and they're sandbags from whichever direction fire's coming from. The sandbags and the wire don't block line of sight, but the sandbags also grant the the guys in there an advantage. Whoever attacks them will roll one less dice as well. Once somebody leaves the hex with the sandbags are removed. The last thing we've got, rivers are impassable. Forests are another terrain feature we have. If a unit enters a forest, it has to stop, and it cannot attack the turn it enters the forest. So even if an infantry moves one hex into a forest and would still be eligible to attack because he only moved one hex, because it was a forest, he loses that attack. But if you're in a forest and someone attacks you, they roll one less dice. There's also towns, which are kind of similar to a forest. A town, if you move in, you must stop. You can't battle when you move in there. But if once you're in there, then people attacking you roll one less dice. If we had armor, if we had tanks here, both in the forest and in the towns, they would roll two fewer dice. So they're nice cover against tanks. And if we had artillery pieces, it doesn't affect them. They just bomb the crap out of whatever's in there, no matter what. So I think it's just about time to start. Now Stir Fry, as the allied player, he has the element of surprise. So he got to draw 6 of the command cards. And I, as the German player, only get to draw 2. The Germans were kind of caught unawares. The allied player also will go first. So Stir Fry, if you are ready, go ahead and begin your turn.
Okay, let's see. I think I'm gonna do move out. It's a card. Issue an order to 4 infantry units. Terrain, movement, and battle restrictions still apply. If you do not command any infantry units...
Infantry?
Oh yeah, sorry. Infantry units. Issue an order to 1 unit of your choice.
So this is a good card. So this one allows you to issue orders to 4 infantry units anywhere on the map. And then, of course, the terrain effects still apply. So you get to move 4 of your units anywhere on the map. You've got units in the center, you've got units on your left flank. This would be my right flank, but that's your left. So you can move any of them. And of course, any guys that are in a hex that's either in the center or in the right or left, that counts as either. But in your case, you just get to move 4 groups. And if you remember the rules, they can move 1 hex and fire, or 2 hexes and not fire.
Well, I'm going to use these guys right here to attack those guys.
You're just going to fire at them?
Yep.
Well, you have to do all your movement first. So is there any guys that you want to move?
I should do my movement.
Yeah.
Well, I want to... Let's see. I could get a double attack if I go 1. Then I can attack you with those guys too.
Mm-hmm.
Those guys... Well, 1... I can attack you.
Now, of course, if these guys move up, that's going to block your line of sight to those guys. So you may not want to move those up.
Oh, yeah. Well, these guys?
Yeah. See,
well, I could keep them back. And then
you could keep them back, and all 3 could focus their submachine guns on the guys in the sandbags.
Okay, so I get -2 on all my attacks.
Well, so that's 3 units.
I can move 1 more.
You can move 1 more. You want to head over for this bridge over here?
Well, no, yeah, probably should. Yeah.
Okay. And those guys are out of range for combat, so we'll just do the combats over here. So these guys, so Stir Fry, how many dice will these guys roll?
They can roll 2 because I get a disadvantage right there and right there.
Well, so normally for range they would roll 3 if they were here. They would roll 2.
Oh,
no,
double kill.
Hang on a second. So you calculated it incorrectly. So these guys would roll 3 if there was a troop here. They would roll 2 for a troop here, but the sandbag causes them to subtract 1. So you actually only roll 1 dice.
Oh, really? Well, then I got a kill.
Okay. Next time, wait until we clarify it before you roll, of course. So that he got one of the infantry figures, so that causes one of my Panzer Grenadiers here to remove one of their counters.
Okay, and then these guys are gonna attack them.
So these guys would roll 3, 2, 1, and then they get a -1.
They can attack?
So that, yeah, they wouldn't roll any dice.
Weird. Then I'll attack with those guys with 1 tap.
3, 2, 1, and a -1 for the sandbags. So you can see already the sandbags have helped me out. Now I will let you, if you want to, I'll give you a little bit of a mulligan.
Maybe I should have left these guys up here.
Yeah. So if you want to move those guys up there,
I should have listened to you.
well, I will let you do that if you want to do that. Okay. So then, if you attack, how many dice do you roll?
Actually, do I roll 2 now?
Well, you would roll 3, 2, and then -1 for the sandbags, so you would roll 1 dice.
Okay.
So go ahead and roll 1 dice. Okay, make sure you roll it where I can see it. That's behind your cards. Roll it on the board. Okay, so you got a star. So a star is basically no effect. So they duck behind the sandbags. So that's your turn. So then you'll draw a card. And now it is the German's turn. I'm going to play Probe. This allows me to order 2 units in the center. And since I only have 2 units in the center, that will work out. That will work out okay. These guys are going to focus their fire on this unit right here in front. These guys are going to move onto the bridge and try and secure that bridge. Just hold it. So they won't be attacking, but these guys will, and they will roll 2 dice because they're 2 hexes away. So we will roll those 2 dice. And I got an infantryman and a star. So what happens?
You get a kill and a miss.
Yep, so we'll remove that figure from the board. And then the German player, in this scenario, after the first turn, he'll actually draw 2 cards. And now it is Stir Fry's turn.
Okay, I'm gonna use a card called Air Power. Target a group of 4 or fewer enemies units adjacent to each other. Roll 2 battle dice per hex. Airline air attack, or 1 dice per hex.
For the axis.
Yeah.
So, who are you going to target?
Well,
This guy over here?
I want to target like in here.
Oh, well, if you target these guys, they're adjacent and they're adjacent, so you would get to attack all 3 hexes.
I know.
Okay, so let's see your air power card.
I think I
So
can
you are the allied player, so you will roll 2 battle dice per hex, and then you score 1 hit for each die that matches that unit symbol. And you also ignore any terrain reduction, so you will still roll 2 for the guys in the sandbags, and for the guys in the town. So let's go ahead and do this one first. Roll 2 battle dice, and now you're going to score a hit on a infantry, a grenade, or a star. So you got 1 star. For each flag, you retreat 1 hex. So I have to retreat towards my side of the board, so I'm going to send these guys back here.
And now I'll hit those guys.
Okay.
And I get to do 3 on them?
2.
2. Okay.
And you got 2 tanks, which unfortunately the tanks are a miss. So the guys on the bridge, your shots must have hit in the water and they're okay. And then the guys in the sandbags, you got a grenade, which takes out one of them, and a flag. So they have to retreat towards my side of the board. Now because they've left the hex with the sandbags go away. So you're in really good position. And go ahead and draw a card.
Okay.
That didn't help me very much. I'm going to have to do a firefight. Issue an order to 4 units to open fire. Units in a firefight may not be adjacent to an enemy unit and may not move. So it's the only card I have that's really going to make any difference. So the only guys that can fire are going to be the guys on the bridge and these guys right here.
But you get a disadvantage, don't you?
No, that's only for the person in the barbed wire. So these guys will roll 3, 2, 1 dice. And I got a flag, so these guys will need to retreat 1 hex. Yep. These guys will roll 3, 2, 1 dice. And I got a grenade, which a grenade is always a hit, but not a retreat. Perfect. And then this is my second turn, so just like the first turn, I will draw 2 command cards, but from here on out, I will only draw 1. Alright, Stir Fry, your turn.
Okay. I'm going to do dig in.
Okay. This is issue an order to 4 infantry units. The units improve their position by placing an available sandbag on the unit's hexes. If you do not command any infantry, issue an order to 1 unit. So you can put sandbags on 4 of your unit's hexes. So let me fish out the green sandbags from the box here. So which units are you going to have dig in?
Well, I want these guys, like 1, 2, 3, and then I want these guys. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Well, here, I'll let you set up the sandbags.
Guys, and then, oh, there. this one would also give you a disadvantage for that one, I think.
For what?
Well, if these guys are attacking that guy, they'd also get a disadvantage.
Well, it doesn't affect line of sight. It's only if you attack the people inside the bags. And these guys are not inside the bags.
But they're behind people.
But that doesn't matter. It's like the bags surround that whole hex. And if you're behind it, it doesn't matter. But those guys block the line of sight, so I couldn't attack them anyway. All right, so that was your turn. So go ahead and draw a card.
Okay.
All right, well, I am going to do a probe. Order 2 units on my right flank. These guys are going to move into the town. These guys are going to move from one town to the other. So whenever you enter a town, you have to stop. And then you also cannot battle. So those guys can't battle. So that's basically my turn. And that's okay. I'm buying some time. I'm repositioning. I'm okay with that. Your turn, Stir Fry.
Okay, let's see. I'm going to do an assault.
Okay, so what does that do?
I get to use all my troops in the center to attack those guys. And these guys are in the center because they're in a middle hex.
No, so that's not a middle hex. So this would be a middle hex. So the red line goes through the middle. These guys are definitely on your left flank. So in the middle you've got these guys, these two, those two, and these guys are in the middle.
Oh, and that attack stunk. Oh.
No, you can...
Because I thought these guys were... I thought that guy was in the middle. Dang it.
No.
I wish I wouldn't
Well,
have played
you
this.
can change your mind. I'll let you change your mind.
I'll do this one instead. Recon and force means I get to move one guy in every quadrant.
In each quadrant. So the only guy in your right-hand quadrant are these guys. These are all in your center, and these are all in your left.
Okay,
So
well
let's put that in the middle so we...
Oh,
that was the one. Okay, make sure you don't draw until at the end of your turn, just so you don't accidentally draw an extra card.
No, I don't. I remember. So I'll use these guys to attack those guys.
Okay.
And then, can I hit these guys? That'd give me a big disadvantage.
Well, you'd be roll 3 dice, 2 dice, 1 dice. You couldn't hit them, but you could just move 2 spaces to the bridge and get the victory point. Well, that's okay.
I guess.
So as soon as you move off, the sandbag goes away. I mean, you're not going to get victory points for sandbags.
But I get a medal.
Yeah. So now we'll place that medal here on your victory track marker. So 3 more, and you win.
Okay, well now for my attacking time.
Well, now hang on. Did anybody else want to move? You got to do all your movement first.
Well, I don't think I want to move anybody.
Okay.
Okay.
So the only... All right, you've got all these guys down here you could move. These guys are out of range. 3, 2, 1. They can't hit anything. So you might as well move somebody down here.
Okay.
You don't have to move them. You could move some reinforcements to hold that bridge. Perfect. Okay, and then you weren't going to move anybody over here on this side?
No, I just want to use these guys to attack them. So
Okay, so how many dice will you roll?
let's see, 1, 2, and 3.
Well, yes, you can count backwards. 3 dice, 2 dice, 1 dice.
Okay, let's see. Be good, be unlucky.
A star.
The worst of
So a star was ineffectual. So they kind of hid behind the bridge, and your shots rang out on the stones, but was unable to dislodge them.
Star's the worst dice besides unless you're using air power.
Yeah. Well, so to your advantage, it may not. I mean, the German player is the one that would want to dig in and have sandbags. You need to move in and take that town before they fortify and make it more difficult for you. So your better odds are to get right up next to them in that close assault, so you can roll 3 dice. So that's a strategy that you may want to consider. You could stay back and take pot shots, and your odds are pretty slim of getting a hit, but you still may. Or you could send all your guys up there and just charge the bridge and push me off of it. You may lose a few guys that way, but you've got more guys than I do, so the odds are that you would succeed. So you have already drawn your card, so then it would be my turn. I am going to do an assault on the right flank. I order all of my units on the right flank. These two move out of that town. They're going to move 2 hexes. These guys will move 1 hex. These guys will move 1 hex into the town and have to stop. These guys will move onto the bridge. So the only one that's eligible to attack are these guys here, and they're gonna
Get -2.
they're gonna fire it. Either way, they're gonna roll 1 dice.
Yeah.
So they're actually gonna go for the guys behind the sandbags.
That's -2 still.
It's a -1 for the sandbags. So they would roll 3,
But
2.
plus you have to shoot across the river, which is -1, isn't it?
No. So the river doesn't block line of sight or anything. You just can't go across a river unless there's a bridge. So I will just roll 1 dice. And I got a grenade, which takes out one of these guys, but they're still pretty strong. And that's my turn. All right, stir fry.
Okay.
Oh, there's a card I need.
I'm gonna do a probe. I can move 2 units in my this squadron right here.
Okay, your left flank.
Yeah. These guys are gonna move. Well, no, I don't want to get into there. That stinks. Those guys are trapped right there.
Well, they can move.
I don't know.
You'll just be in the barbed wire. But at some point, you got to try and take that bridge. So as soon as you move out, yep, the sandbags go away.
Let's see. I can move 2. So, oops, sorry. Move these guys up, and then that's my turn. Well,
Okay,
actually, I want to do my attack.
these guys moved into the barbed wire.
They're gonna remove the barbed
Now
wire.
you have to stop. So that would be your attack if you're going to remove the barbed
But
wire.
I can do 2 attacks, can I?
Well, why can you do 2 attacks with that same unit?
No, not with the same.
Oh, yeah, so-
I just want to do.
Yeah. So these guys, instead of attacking, they can remove the barbed wire. These guys only moved 1, so they could attack across the river.
Yeah, so here's the barbed wire.
Okay.
And then these guys, I'm gonna attack those guys with 3 dice. Wait, no, 2 dice.
2 dice.
Yeah.
Remember, just count backwards.
Oh,
Okay,
dang it.
let's
Sorry.
try and roll them on the board, or at least keep them on the table.
Sorry.
That's okay. Let's re-roll that one. So you got
So double
so you
kill.
got a grenade and an infantry, so double kill. So that was good. Once he wipes out this guy, that counts as a victory point.
Then I get 2.
And that was your turn. So then go ahead and draw a card.
Okay, your turn.
All right. Well, let's. I'm limited in my hand since I only have 4 cards. I'm gonna have to do recon and force. Move 1 unit in, or order 1 unit in each section. So I'm gonna order these guys to move up. They're gonna try and retake that bridge. And then in this section, the guys in the town are gonna fire at those 2 guys there. So let's do the bridge attack first. So I'm going to roll 3 dice because they're right next to them. Okay, so I got an infantry, a star, and a tank. So only the infantry counts. So that takes out 1 guy. I was hoping to get a retreat, but I didn't. And then over here, they're going to roll 2 dice. And I got a tank and a retreat. The tank does nothing, but the retreat will cause those 2 guys to retreat towards your side of the board. And they've got a square right there where they can go. Perfect. All right. Your turn.
I don't know how. I literally have every side except for the one I need.
See, and all I have right now in my hand is stuff to do things in the center, and I have no guys in the center. Well, I have 1 other card that I can use, but it's
Can you
not
trade
great.
cards in this game?
No.
Okay.
All right, so go ahead. What have you got?
Oh wait, yeah, that would work. I'm gonna do an assault. I can move all my guys in the middle center part.
Okay. Move all your units with an assault.
So I can move these guys closer up.
Yep.
And then these guys can.
In fact, if these guys wanted, they could move 2 and get right up next to the bridge. They couldn't attack, but they'd be
then these
in good
guys are gonna
position.
move up, but I don't want to do that. Okay.
Okay.
And then I think that's I got 2, right?
No, all the guys in the center.
Oh yeah, so I can move these guys.
Mhm.
Oh, and those guys. So 1, 2. Trying to get them in a big group.
Mhm.
Oh my god.
See, now I need an airstrike.
I know you could just take out tons.
Mhm.
1, 2.
Then you got those guys over there in the center.
Oh yeah. 1, 2. I'll defend the bridge.
Now the problem there is if I forced you to retreat, you got nowhere to go.
Okay, and then I'm gonna do my attack. So these guys are gonna attack that guy.
That's the best.
Okay,
Plan,
so
I
I
think
get 2 dice.
2 dice. Oh, and 2 tanks. If I was a tank unit there, I'd be in trouble.
Okay, and then these guys are gonna attack that guy. There's still 2 dice.
Okay. Oh, you got to retreat. So these guys have to. They flee back that way. So that worked out well for me. That was definitely helpful. Now these guys moved over here. Of course, they moved 2, so they couldn't fire anyway. But these guys would block line of sight even if they could.
Yeah.
So go ahead and draw a card. Hopefully you get a good one.
Yeah, not a stinky one again.
So the only thing I have available that's going to be of any use to me is this armor assault, which I could move 4 tanks if I had tank units, but I don't. So it says if you don't command any armor, issue an order to 1 unit of your choice. So naturally it's going to be these guys. They are going to roll in a close assault 3 dice against your glidermen on the bridge. And they got a kill and a retreat. So you need to retreat towards your side of the board. But okay, that's my no. They can't move in the river. Can't pass through your friendly hex.
They'll go swimming.
Nope. So you're actually going to lose 1 guy because you didn't have anywhere for him to retreat. Perfect. All right, and then I will draw a card. Oh, that's a little better. Okay, and it is your turn, but you still hold the bridge.
I'm gonna do an assault in this place. I can move all my units.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, so let's see. Up here.
Good. So they're gonna roll 3 dice.
These guys are all party. Yeah. So
You're gonna.
all these guys are gonna move up here.
Okay.
I can't get this guy up. And then these guys can attack still where I want them. And then I think
Now, who does he belong to?
nobody. He's a lone troop.
Oh, that's right. That's the one that had to retreat, huh?
Yeah. Okay, now I'm ready to do my attack.
Okay. So these guys on the bridge, how many are they gonna roll?
3.
3.
Oh,
Okay, remember,
dang it.
let's roll them on the table.
Well, it's a kill anyway.
Well, you got to re-roll the one that
Well,
fell.
I'll show you. It's a kill.
You got to re-roll the one that fell. It doesn't matter because you got 2 kills anyway. So
Okay,
these guys get removed. That counts as a victory point for you. Now you can advance after combat if you want.
Yeah.
You
And
can
then
take
I
the
can get
bridge,
another
which counts as another victory point. So right now you're sitting at 3. So
if I-
1 more. If you can get rid of that guy.
I win. So I get a disadvantage on him. I get 1, 2, 3. So I only
Now
get
let's see
1.
if you have line of sight. You have to go from the center of this hex to the center of this hex. It kind of crosses the corner of that town. That town may block line of sight. What do you think? Is that going to, if you move the guys over?
Yeah.
Well, it's supposed to be from the center of the hex. If we take a piece of paper, let's just see, because it may actually work. So let's move these guys out and this guy out. If we go from the center of this hex to the center of that hex, you know what? It doesn't cross the town. So I will let you make that attack.
Where's my troops? Oh, yeah, right there. Okay, so I have to roll with 1 dice.
1 die, and you got a star.
Of course.
Almost won the game, but you got a star. All right.
But I can still attack with these guys, or those are guys I just attacked with.
Yeah, so you just
Oh,
attack.
yeah. Okay, your turn.
So draw a card.
Yeah, you stink dice right now.
So I gotta do something here. So I'm gonna do a probe on my left flank over here. I can order 2 units. So these guys, well, these guys will move up to here. So they've got a fire lane on those guys, and these guys will close assault the guy on the bridge. We're gonna do the bridge attack first. And I got a kill and a retreat. So we'll just take the kill. That's a victory point for me. And now I can advance after combat, and then you're gonna lose that medal. You'll get it back if you take the bridge again. And these guys are gonna fire on those guys. 3, 2, 1. So I'll roll 1 dice. And I got a tank, which is nothing. And I'll draw a card. And it is your turn, Stir Fry.
Okay. Oh yeah, I forgot. I'm gonna do counterattack.
Okay, what does that do?
Issue the same order just played by your opponent. When countering a section card, a right section card becomes the equivalent left section card, and vice versa. When counterattack an infantry assault card. The counterattack must occur in the same section as your opponent.
So, you're countering my probe. So it was 2 on my left flank, so it'll be 2 on your right flank, which will be over here. So these guys can try and take that bridge.
Okay, well, they're going to attack you, of course.
Okay.
You get 3 dice.
Roll them here on the board, please. You got a tank and 2 kills. So we'll take those 2 guys off, but you didn't push them off the bridge yet. Okay, so that was your turn. We'll go ahead and discard that card and then draw a new one.
You put counterattack back in my thing.
I think I handed it to you.
Yeah.
Sorry. Go ahead and draw a new one. I'm going to have to do close assault. Issue an order to all infantry or armor adjacent to enemy units. And all I've got is here and here. Units ordered battle with 1 additional die. So I roll 4 dice. Units may not move before they battle, but after a successful close assault, they may still take ground. So I get to roll 4 dice. May I borrow a dice from you, Stir Fry? So we'll do over here on the bridge. I got 2 kills and a retreat. So we'll kill those 2 and then go ahead and retreat your troops towards you. Okay. And let's not play with the dice. The camera will pick that sound up pretty easily. And let's attack from the town onto that bridge with 4. And we got 2 kills, which is enough to knock both those guys off the bridge, and that counts as a victory point for me. And I will advance onto the bridge. And then I will draw a card, and it's your turn.
We just ruined it for me.
Well, I'm sorry. That's the way battle goes. I
want to do a recon. I can move 1 unit in this section.
Okay.
And these guys are attacking those
Well,
guys.
hang on. It's 1 unit in the center.
Yeah.
These guys are not in the center.
Oh, well, this guy is, so I can move
Yep,
him.
that guy can. He can move into the barbed wire, and then he has to stop.
Wow.
And then he can still battle.
Oh, you messed everything up.
I'm sorry. Sometimes your enemy will do that.
Wait.
Is that what you want to do? Or you can move these guys over here to try and take that bridge again. Because if you can wipe out those guys and take that bridge, you'll win the game.
Okay.
No, those guys aren't in the center.
Oh, this guy?
Yeah. So they can move, but they can't battle. Okay, go ahead and draw a card.
Okay.
I'm going to recon my left flank. I can order 1 unit over here, and then when I draw a new command card, I draw 2, and I choose the one I want, discard the other. So I'm going to move these guys up to try and protect, and then they're just going to take a pot shot over here. 3, 2, 1. They'll roll 1 dice. And I got to retreat, so they'll have to retreat towards you. Right there. And so now I will draw 2 cards, keep the one I want, and discard the other. Come on, airstrike. Yeah, we'll try that one. Okay, your turn.
I think I'm going to lose at this point, but I'll try.
I don't know. You're still very much in good position. You just got everybody clumped up over here. You need some cards that let you do stuff on your left flank.
I'm going to do this one.
There you go. Order all your units in the left flank. And I would just send all your guys up towards that bridge. So those guys can move and close assault. I'd send this guy up. He can get rid of the barbed wire. And you lose the sandbag. Perfect. Okay, so you've got 3 attacks here.
Okay, so first I'm going to do...
Or sorry, 2 attacks. One was the barbed wire. So these guys will close assault. So you'll roll 3 dice.
Oh, move
Yeah,
those.
I'll move those. So
Kill, and
killed
retreat.
2 and a retreat. So these guys are killed. They retreat.
I move in.
You move in. Now what I should have done, and I didn't. I should have taken that medal back when I took the the bridge, but I didn't. But that's okay. So you hold that medal for the bridge. You got my guys pushed back.
I've already done this. This works. That guy can attack me.
Yep, that guy can
With
attack.
1 dice. Where are my dice?
Right here on the table.
This better be lucky.
Oh, right here. Oh, a star. Darn it. That guy, he's wearing armor or something. Then go ahead and draw a card. But see, now you've got your troops moved up. You're actually holding the bridge. I'm going to have to do a barrage. Target 1 enemy unit. Roll 4 battle dice. Score 1 hit for each one matching the symbol or a grenade. And for a flag, you retreat 1 hex. So I'm going to roll 4 dice on your guys on the bridge. So I got an infantry and a grenade. And then they have to and I got 1 flag, so they have to retreat 1 hex. All right. So then technically you would lose, that would come off there. And I'll draw a card. All right, your turn.
That left messed me up again.
Well, you gotta be flexible to be able to maneuver.
I know, it's just the stupid dice. Let me
Well,
down 5 times.
That's okay.
I'll do this one again. I get to
Okay, order 2 units on your left flank. That's a good one.
That one can move in.
So you're gonna take the bridge. Okay, so you get the victory medal.
These guys can attack him. These guys. Well, actually, if I.
Yeah, those guys could move up. This guy, oh, actually, he's not on that side. These guys could move up. They could move 2. They couldn't attack, but then they're in a great position to do some attacking next turn. And they'd be in the center, so if you have cards that let you attack in the center, that would be great.
Okay, then.
Oh, this one right here.
And then these guys can move up here and attack.
Yes, and one of your cards just fell over there, stir fry. All right, so.
And then also, did I move that guy yet?
No, let's. You can't because he's in the center. He's not on on your flank.
Okay.
You could. So you've moved your 2.
Okay. Well, these guys. Well, these guys can't attack. He only moved 1.
Yeah. So you've ordered 2 units. This guy.
That guy can attack that.
This guy can attack there, and these guys can attack there.
But they moved 2.
Oh yeah, that's right. So you have 1 good attack. So you
These guys can attack that guy.
No, well you can order 2 units, and you ordered this guy and these guys, right? It's not all your units, so these guys can't attack because it's only the ones that you
then
ordered.
I don't want to move these guys. I don't like their position anymore.
Okay. So they were back here.
This guy. Okay, these guys are gonna attack that guy. And yeah. And
Okay.
that guy.
So these guys roll 1 dice against him. Oh, and they got him. So that's a victory point for you. So 1 more. You got to take that bridge or knock out these guys. Yep, you get 3 dice. You can win right here. Why don't you roll them right in the middle of the table here?
This better.
Right here where we can see them.
A killer grenade. Oh, that wins.
That wins the game. So here you were bemoaning the fact that you thought the game was lost, and 2 turns later you win. So Stir Fry, what do you think about Memoir 44?
It's pretty fun.
It's pretty fun. What do you like about it?
I don't know. I just like all of it. I can't think of a.
Well, I know you like the figures.
Yeah.
They're pretty cool to look at. The tanks are really cool. The guys are cool. Is it easy to play?
Yeah.
What don't you like about it?
I don't know.
One thing that I might recommend for you is to consider. Let's not do that because the camera will pick up the noise while I'm talking. Let's consider the strategy. That I mean, you dug in guys in sandbags and you stayed back trying to shoot at my guys on a bridge. Whereas what benefited you was charging up to the bridge and pushing the guys off and claiming that bridge. So that's one thing where I mean this could have been over probably 5 or 6 minutes ago had you done that. Of course, you might have got cut to ribbons. You never know, but that's one thing that might have happened. So in future matches, there'll be armor and artillery, different sorts of terrain, things like that. So do you think you'd want to play this one again sometime?
Mm-hmm.
Sounds good. All right, this is BB Magic and Stir Fry 05 signing off. Thanks a lot. Bye-bye.
Bye.